Alright, so I'm ready to trim the bowl that I made about 2-3 days ago. And now is the very good timing to trim. And before I start to trim, I like to show you my measuring method. If you are brand new or beginner and you know how thick the bottom is before you trim, then you will end up with a nice bowl. So this is my invention. It's a measuring ruler that measure the inside depth and then the outside, and then it subtracts the difference, so you come up with the thickness of the bottom. So before you start to trim, remove the clay, you know how much clay you can remove. Okay, so from here, the top to the center, it's about 100, and from here to the wheel head, it's 115. So you subtract the difference, is come up with 15 millimeters. Okay, 15. It's a little bit less, a little bit more than a half an inch. Like I told you, when I throw, I like to leave my bottom, around somewhere around half an inch to 5/8 of an inch. Okay, so this is within the thickness I told you when I'm throwing the ball. Right, so that's the 3 pieces. And actually, you don't have to buy 3 pieces. I have this on my Etsy shop or my website. So you actually can use 2 pieces instead. Okay, 1 here, and then there's another slot outside. So you pull out and then you measure outside. Okay, 2 pieces should be able to do the job. Okay, you don't need to purchase 3 pieces. All right, so that's the setup. And then when I'm trimming, I can constantly check the base. Okay, so when I go deeper, then I could put it on here and then measure it and see how much I have going in. And ideally, I usually leave my bottom here about the thickness, okay, the center of the bottom, about 3 millimeters. Okay, that's the goal I'm always trimming to. So then from there, I will decide how much clay I can remove from the outside. Okay, so let's put this aside. And then also, when you are trimming, make sure that you are trimming at the right stage. And what is the right stage? There are a couple ways to tell what is the right stage. Okay, first, of course, before you start, you might want to squeeze the rim. If the rim is movable, that's too wet. Okay, and second, it's very easy to tell if that's the right stage. So you can rub your hand around it. If you feel the clay is kind of sticky, okay, that means the clay is too wet. Okay, that means the clay is too wet. And also, on the very corner here, you try to pinch it. Okay, if you still can make an indentation, that's too soft. Okay, wait till it gets the right the right dryness to start it. Okay, so and then and you want to see if the clay is too dry or if the clay is too dry. Okay, you can use a fingernail to make some indentation. So you see that the nail can still go easily. So that's the right stage when you're trimming. Okay, and especially for my tool, you don't want to trim it too wet, because the wet clay, the clay is easy to stick on the surface. So make sure you want to trim it a little bit drier. Okay, and the way to hold it, there are several ways to do it. And this time I'm going to show you no clay coil, just water. Okay, put a little bit of water, on the wheel head. And to use the clay to stick use the water to stick the clay on the wheel head. And if you want to be able to do that, make sure you learn this technique. Okay, this technique is called tap centering. Okay. Right, so that's good. And then once you find your center, you just tap on the bottom here so that the clay stick, okay, is not moving. Okay, that's one way to do it. Otherwise, if you're a beginner, you can use a needle tool to check it. Okay, find a needle tool and then spin the wheel and check it using the tip of a needle. Right, so in the future maybe I will show you how to do that, okay? But this time I'm just using the tap centering method to do that. Okay. And also I like to also introduce my trimming tool. If you have my regular stainless steel trimming tool, okay, this is my regular stainless steel trimming tool. Number 2 should be able to take care of the whole project here, okay? But if you have the my carbide tool, maybe you might want to use 2 pieces of the carbide tool to take care of it, because the number 2, if you use it by itself, sometimes people find out it's very easy to get the chattering mark. Okay, so I'm going to show you just using my carbide tool to do that. And the advantage of using the carbide tool is that the material is very hard, so it doesn't worn out easily, so the sharp edge lasts longer. Okay. So first I'm using my number 3, okay? I want to roughly decide where is my foot ring going to be. So I use that to give myself an idea. So this part here is going to be my foot ring. And then I can remove the clay from the middle and remove the clay from the outside. And some people say that the tool is easy to get a chattering mark. Okay, if you are holding the tool the wrong way, it's actually easy to get the chattering mark. Okay, so when the cutting point, usually if the cutting point is closer to the end, then it's easy to trigger the vibration. So if you focus your cutting point toward the corner, okay, then you want to get the chattering mark, okay? And then stabilize the tool. You see that I try to extend my left thumb and then get the tool to brace on my left thumb, so to stabilize it. Okay, you see that? I don't have any chattering mark. And also, if you find out you have a chattering mark, maybe you can change the cutting angle. Okay, cutting angle. This angle, if you are cutting at this angle, you might get the chattering mark easily. But if you hold the angle a little bit this way, okay, it's kind of like shaving the clay, then you won't get the chattering mark as easy as holding the clay so straight, so vertical. Okay, this you might get a chattering mark. But this way, you're shaving it, so you don't get the chattering mark. Right. And then I see that my hand, I'm holding closer to the corner, the end, so to stabilize the tool so that I don't get the chattering mark. And since this tool is very hard material, so you could actually trim the clay even drier than this stage, drier than the other hard stage. right? So far I'm just roughly cutting the outer part. Actually, I like to take care of the inside part first to decide how much clay I can remove here. And you have to hold the tool quite firm, otherwise the clay might drag your tool, okay? So make sure that you are holding the clay very firm. Okay, we can check how much clay I already go in. I have the ruler, bring the ruler back and then I check it. Now there's about 7 millimeters deep, okay, 7. And I am thinking about leaving this part 3 millimeters. So 15 and minus 3 millimeters, so I could go in 12, okay, 12, so still I have a long way to go. Now that's about 9, so 3 millimeters to go. And I will bring my number 2 trimming tool so that I have a nice 90 degrees, so I could take care of the corner a bit nicer than my number 3 carbide tool. So that's the one way to hold it, using the left hand to stabilize it and then go course from the center to the outer part. Okay, that's one way. And you can also hold the tool like this and using the tip to cut through the clay too. Especially when your clay is very dry, you can do this easily. Okay, now it's about 11. So 1 more millimeter to go. I will just 1 millimeter is very thin, so I will just refine it. And when I'm refining the the bottom, I speed up my wheel. Okay, so that you can hear the sound and memorize it. If you know exactly how thick it is, and then memorize the sound, maybe later on you don't need to depend on the measuring tool. You can just by tap it and see if the sound is right, and then you stop. Alright, so that's good. And then after I take care of this part here, I am going to measure the corner, and the inside corner and outside corner should be the outside, since you're making the bowl with a little curve, so outside could be a little bit lower, a tiny little bit lower than the inside corner. So that's how I decided how much clay I could remove. Okay, so now after I get everything good, the shape looks good and the surface is smooth, and if you want to add the cherry mark, now is a good time. And I'm going to use my number 2 carbide tool to do that. Okay, normally I am showing you using my number 1, but I could also use the number 2 to do the cherry mark too. The key to get the tool to chatter is that you want to hold the blade, the tool a little bit longer, so it triggers the vibration. Okay, vibration. So I'm holding this way, and then you want to cut a little bit firmer, so apply a little bit pressure, and spin the tool, spin the wheel a bit faster. Okay. So for this part, I was using the left-hand side corner. Okay, focus more on the left-hand side corner. And here, I'm going to focus on my right-hand side corner. So you can see the texture is a little bit different. And then I'm going to also show you using my number 3 carbide tool to do the chattering. So you will get the red little red dots. And for the very bottom corner, I'm going to use the whole length. First, I focus on left-hand corner. Second, I focus on right-hand corner. The third, I was using number 3. And this time, I'm going to use the whole plate, so it'll get the lines, more lines. So it's a straight line. And I use my stamp to get my signature. I don't actually sign my piece. I actually just use a stamp to stamp on right on the foot rim. Just push it away from me. Can remove it easily. Right, so that's the 3 pound of porcelain clay, and I got a very nice curve here. See the curve here? Nice curve, nice foot, and also nice texture. A lot of texture from the chattering. Right, so to show you what exactly, how thick the wall and the bottom is, I like to cut it open, okay? I know a lot of people don't like to see this, but it's good for educational purpose. Right, so that's to show you when using the wooden rib, you could get a very nice curve here when you are throwing. The inside is more important, okay, inside is more important. And then using the measuring tool, the tumble stick, to measure, so you get how much clay you leave it here, you know exactly. And then after that, you trim the outside according to the inside. So you are going to end up with just having good thickness here all the way. Okay. So that's the demonstration of using the ruler, the measuring tool, to check the thickness and to cut it deep enough, and then to remove the clay from the side. So you are going to end up with a nice perfect bowl. Okay. Right. Hope this lesson help you to produce nice bowls. Right. Thanks for watching and see you next time.